Good morning, easily offended millennials.
So just a quick note to all you good, kind people out there who have supported this channel or are going to support this channel. Please support this channel some more. Subscribe, hit the like, visit us on the social media sites listed in the links below, or find some other way to support us. Thank you. Now on to the video, if my voice holds out. After watching the latest inrush of extremist third-wave feminist and social justice warriors mea culpas, a thought came to mind. Maybe they've been trolling us this whole time. And by us, I am talking about what is known as the anti-SJW or anti-feminist crowd. It seems that they are so obvious, like the phony villain in a cheesy movie twirling his mustache, that you have no other choice but to conclude this. Think about it. Yeah, I know this is a hard red pill to swallow, but bear with me while I present my case.
Over the years of doing YouTube, I've often thought back on the footprint that I leave online. I notoriously rewatch my videos to analyze how I present myself. I tend to be very critical of what I post online, but unfortunately, I tend to do a lot of that critical thinking after I've already posted a video and not when I get the idea for a video, like when I should actually be critical. Given the clarity of time and of maturing in many ways, I really regret the ways that I've handled my YouTube channel, especially in response to the many anti-feminist reaction videos that I've been getting for a year and a half.
And Milo gets specific about her shortcomings.
I caught myself using many logical fallacies in that I noticed the loudest and the biggest voices critiquing me were calling me an it, or making jokes about my appearance or my speech patterns, and so I put up this brick wall that precluded me from being open to other criticisms.
We joke about the lowest hanging fruits like Riley J. Dennis, Steve Shives, Milo Stewart, and even Lacey Green. Oh, the list goes on, but we laugh at the absurdness of their arguments. The trolling idea springs to mind when you read that most of the traffic on, say, Everyday Feminism site is anti-feminist, or more recently, Milo Stewart's sort of confession.
I had such nice aspirations when it came to how I wanted to handle my YouTube channel, but this wasn't how I was actually handling my channel. It makes sense why a majority of my viewers are trolls, because that's who I was making videos for over a good year or so. I was making videos for the exact opposite audience that I thought I was making videos for. And because of that, it pushed away a lot of my genuine subscribers. I apologize to all my genuine subscribers whom I ignored when I should have been making videos for you this whole time.
But the real admission comes next.
I believe in the principle that activism is not impactful unless it's making someone angry. But I got really good at just making people angry without caring if I had another way to measure my impact.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. I do think the idea of them trolling us is pretty funny. And bear in mind that Milo's apology is not aimed at us, but Milo's loyal followers who are no longer getting the educational videos that Milo would like to be doing. But it's not the admissions of guilt that make this argument valid, rather the opposite. It's the digging in and extreme entrenchment, the apparent narrowing of the minds in the shrinking universe of ideas, the vast echo chamber, all these, once the ruling domains of the extreme religious and political right, now the comfy little safe spaces for their ilk. It's not that they have pointed little heads and narrow minds, but the absurdity of their arguments.
All white people are racist, all men are misogynistic, all cisgender people are transphobic, all members of a majority are biased against the members of the minority or oppressed group. In fact, most people are racist, misogynistic, transphobic, ableist, etc.
Like Milo Stewart, I am reflecting on her past videos and seeing this ridiculous clip. You can't help to think maybe she's trolling in light of her recent change of heart. While Steve Shives is not considered to be a wellspring of intellectual honesty or diversity of opinion, his videos on YouTube are a plentiful bounty of deliberate ignorance.
Johnny the Wolf. Really, Steve? You do not even watch anti-feminists when they are saying something actually sensible for a change? No, I don't think that sensible things are in such short supply. I mean, that's like saying, really, Steve, you don't eat at the restaurant that poisons most of its customers? Because, I mean, every once in a while they don't poison someone. Every 100th meal to come out of that rancid kitchen is actually pretty good, or at least safe to eat. So I don't think it's fair to write off the restaurant completely. I mean, there's other places to eat, you know?
Many of you are already familiar with the internet meme, blocked by Steve Shives. If he had his way, there would be a central committee for the institutional censorship of wrongthink. I am not aware of Steve jumping on the apology tour bandwagon, so he must still be in full troll mode. Here he is talking about Lacey Green daring to talk to people with opinions she disagrees with.
Steve here. It's the show where I answer your questions, and this week my first question comes from Johnny the Wolf. Steve, what do you think of Lacey Green's recent reaching out to anti-feminists and engaging in respectability politics? Yeah, might as well start here. I mean, fuck it. By the way, anyone who wants a really great response to the Lacey Green situation, check out Captain Andy's video. He made a video about it a couple of days ago called Lacey Green, You Fucking Liberal, I think is the title. And it's a little long, it's about 25 minutes or so, but it's well worth the time if you have it. And Andy basically says everything that I would have said, only much more articulately than I could have said it had I decided to make my own standalone video on this subject. So check out Captain Andy's video first and foremost.
If he isn't the spokesperson for the Wet Blanket Society, then I don't know who is.
My thoughts are, at best, she is being incredibly naive and foolish in reaching out to anti-feminists and thinking that there is anything productive to be gained by giving these people a platform on her channel, by trying to have productive civil conversations with people who are fundamentally uncivil and not interested in engaging in good faith and not interested in being respectful or pushing any sort of discourse forward that would be mutually beneficial or beneficial to feminism or women. I think they have well-documented histories that demonstrate this. They are not trustworthy people. They're not good people. They're scumbags. All of them. All of the people. And that's my main question. My main question is, who's she going to talk to? Because she said in the video, oh, I'm only going to talk to people that are respectful and that are interested in having a serious dialogue. Well, who's that? Because I know the people that she has actually been talking to, and they don't meet that standard. She apparently thinks they do because they've been nice to her, but all of the people that she has been interacting with are scumbag, misogynist rape apologists that have histories of inciting harassment against people, of pushing fucking false rape panic and other forms of rape culture, of being open, blatant, abusive misogynists. Why someone who has spent her entire YouTube career and her entire career period as a sex educator and promoting feminism and women's empowerment and women's rights would be interested in giving a platform, let alone any amount of her time, to fucking professional public rape apologists is utterly beyond me. I admit I am completely baffled by it. I have no idea what she could be thinking. She is either incredibly foolish and naive, or she is being incredibly calculating and cynical and opportunistic and is looking to raise her own profile and improve her own fortunes by tapping into this toxic fucking audience that people like the people that she has been courting and hanging out with.
Nice. Now he's trolling Lacey Green.
Are able to command. The whole thing is incredibly disappointing and disgusting and reprehensible and inexcusable for someone in her position with her history and her background, knowing what she knows about abuse of women, knowing what she knows about online harassment, to turn her back on all of the people who have suffered through those things and to reach out an olive branch and to make friends and to invite fucking scum onto her channel in the guise of, oh, we're gonna have a respectful conversation. Please name me somebody.
So there is too much in these few minutes of video to tackle on one video, but we can start with the basics. He is obviously butthurt that Lacey Green is talking to people who have conclusions or ideas that she does not share. He is making a blanket statement condemning a huge block of people, much like his total Twitter ban, calling them scumbags and rape apologists, etc. The last thing he demands in this clip is for Lacey Green to name him one person who meets her criteria. This is a standard he holds others to, but notice that he is unwilling to give us one reason to convince us of the guilt of this huge swath of disgusting scumbags, or even to name any one person who is a disgusting scumbag. Or rape apologist, for that matter. Okay, I get it. This did not convince you that the SJWs are trolling us. You have forced me to move on to more fertile grounds. And here I'm going to give you a 2-for-1. Riley J. Dennis, who is a man that wears makeup and dresses and has a penis, but he dates a woman with a vagina, but since he identifies as a woman, he is a lesbian. He is not a boy who likes girls. I do not make this stuff up. It's not this I consider trolling. It is his remarkable claims about who we should date that qualifies as the troll. And we'll be hearing from him and his babe, and she's pretty. Nice work, Riley. First, we'll hear from Riley.
Let's start with trans people. Would you date a trans person, honestly? Think about it for a second. Okay, got your answer? Well, if you said no, I'm sorry, but that's pretty discriminatory.
Okay, but it gets better.
Because these dating preferences are ultimately harmful to people who don't fit into your box of what a conventionally attractive person looks like.
I like the air quotes around preferences. And even if you're a woman who is not interested in men, you have to like a penis or you are transphobic. And that's not just straight women, or they call cis women, lesbians, it's all women.
If you met someone who was extremely attractive, had a great personality, but didn't have the genitals that you wanted, you might be surprised to find that it isn't a deal breaker. As someone who is trans and gay, sometimes people ask me with a very accusatory tone if I would date a girl with a penis. Because there's this stereotype that trans lesbians are just predatory cis men creeping on cis women.
And if you are a man who also does not desire the pee-pee, then you're shit out of luck with Riley. Still not convinced that Riley is trolling you? Let's see his tag team partner Fiona working the ropes.
But they kindly took it upon themselves to remind us that no, they definitely will not have sex with a trans girl. Thank you so much for clarifying. And it kind of felt like you couldn't ask, oh, why not, without being accused of lesbian erasure, which to me doesn't really sound like it makes much sense, because why would asking a lesbian why she doesn't want to have sex with a certain kind of woman be lesbian erasure? Unless you don't think trans women are women. But this issue isn't applicable to cis lesbians only by any means. A lot of cis people, largely monosexual cis people, are super guilty of this. The discussion then kindly led into why they wouldn't have sex with a black girl either, which, I was kind of just staring at my phone at that point like, just why I gotta say those things. Many of these reasons simmer down to preferences. And I want to say right now, you can 100% have preferences.
So if you're thinking what most people are thinking, you say Riley and Fiona have no idea what preferences actually mean. The only way this makes sense is if they are trolling. Fiona finishes her video, gets on the phone, calls Riley, and is having a hard time containing her laughter. She says, "You gotta see my new video. I'm really screwing with those normies again. I did the air quote with the word preferences, ha 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 ha," and threw in a lot of postmodernist gibberish to really fire them up.
But I find that the preferences argument in a lot of these situations tends to be a really weak as shit excuse for being, oh god, how do I say this, super transphobic. And just like a little bit racist. Now let's explore why. Because for me, preferences are things that you prefer.
If that wasn't the icing on the cake, then I'll just pack up my microphone and go home. Oh crap, I am home. Think about it. The sheer absurdity of their videos. The postmodernist nonsense they toss at us. Do you really think they came up with dozens of genders as a practical matter? No, they must be secretly inventing new genders to toss out as red meat for us. I mean, it does explain the insanity of these people, right?
Everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out.
Still not sold on the idea that we're being trolled? How about a grown woman teaching children about trans and queer people using a teddy bear and blocks as props? This one is so out there it has to be a troll. They probably have the secret award ceremony for the ones that received the most response videos from us.
Hey there, I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Teddy.
Welcome to Queer Kid Stuff. Today we're talking about what it means to be intersex. Queer Kid Stuff. You are enough here at Queer Kid Stuff. Welcome to another episode in our series on the LGBTs. You ready, Teddy?
Ready.
Okay. Today we're looking at the I in LGBTQIA. I stands for...
I know.
You got this, Teddy.
something?
That's right, Teddy. I stands for intersex.
Intersex. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Teddy, before we talk about what intersex means, I have a very special surprise for you.
A surprise? Oh, what is it?
It's my friend Claudia.
Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Teddy.
Hello. Teddy, Claudia is going to help me explain what intersex means.
That's right.
Woohoo! I'm so excited.
Now, if that doesn't win you over, here's one just spotted today, retweeted or whatever by Blair White.
What I do doesn't hurt you. It doesn't affect you. I fuck dogs. Get over it. And where I do it, it's legal.